Welcome to our first episode of Sound of Time. We are interviewing today Osprey Recordings record label owner, singer-songwriter Kevin Mankins, and producer. And today we're going to talk with him about copyrights.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Of course. So today I want to understand more about what copyright laws are, like a definition for you.
What copyright laws are for me? I think as a record label owner they're pretty important, and as an artist. But overall my understanding of copyrights is that they protect your intellectual property, or the manifestation of your ideas, or the content that artists create.
And what's your understanding of how they originally came about?
I think the origination of copyrights came from the printing press in the 1700s had a big impact on written copyrights. I think that's when it's first birthed. Right then Congress kind of got involved and passed those laws federally to keep people from copyrighting written works, and using it and either benefiting it from financially or using it in a light I think the author wouldn't want to use it in. So,
what would you say is the biggest effect that copyright laws have on artists?
I think for me as an artist, it forces me to be more creative, and I think it's a really good thing. And not enough artists that I've worked with as a record producer have go back and double check to make sure that they're not infringing on someone else. You have to have a wide knowledge base of existing copyrighted material to even know if you're infringing on accident, right? Mm-hmm. Not enough artists are double checking, but I do that a lot, and I think for me personally that forces me to be more creative, think outside of the box, and know where the lines are between infringement and inspiration. So,
how do you think that affects society?
Another reason why the copyright was created was mainly so that the government could, or I should say, the federal government could acquire information for educational training. Like people couldn't open source information, kinda-ish. The government controlled it. It's not really open, but using for educational materials and things like that. I think that's a big public domain has a huge impact on society as far as education.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Are there any specific works in the public domain that you like?
There's a couple works that I really love in the public domain. Like there's a German poet Faust, and he has a poem called Goethe, and it's a black and white film they made in 1926, silent film, and I love it. And let's see some other public domain works. Well, yeah, idioms. I love idioms. I think it's great to take two in the fist, one in the bush. Like familiar phrases to other people, but yet nothing copyrighted, so you're not infringing on anyone. It's anonymous authors.
And same question for actually copyrighted information. What are some?
I think one of the greatest, most important copyrighted songs ever was Vanilla Ice's "Ice Ice Baby," because it was just such a public case for even me as a teenage kid to be totally understand that he stole somebody else's art. So that's it's actually the song. The original copyright would have been "Under Pressure," Vanilla Ice, and Freddie Mercury, but I think everybody knows that now. And then another one is Chuck Berry. Then it basically, Chuck Berry's music would be available for either recopywriting or public domain. And at this point, it's if it does become public domain, what does that mean? What does that mean for society and the artists?
Well,
his family.
That's great. Thank you so much for your insight today, and we'll look forward to having you on another show.
Awesome.